You thought Modern's butthole couldn't get any bigger, but after I show you my new deck, you will rethink everything you know about big buttholes. Let's start our stretch with Living End. Not the poser Living End with Electro Dominance, the OG Living End with Cascade. Not that long ago, this deck was considered to be the craziest of graveyard decks, because for 3 mana, it can board wipe the field and get all creatures back from graveyard. The deck works like this. We have Violent Outburst and we have Demonic Dread. The card abilities don't matter, all that matters is Cascade. With these Cascade cards, we dig through the top of our deck until we hit a card that costs less than 3. And in the Living End deck, the only card in the deck that technically costs less than 3 is Living End. So in other words, if we play any of these 8 cards, we're guaranteed to find a Living End. And finding one of these 8 cards is super easy because our whole deck is just discarding creatures and drawing a card. And once Living End fires off, all of those discarded creatures come back to play. But if Living End decks are so good, why do they only make up 0.26% of the metagame? And for the sake of comparison, there are twice as many 5-color Niv Mizzet decks in the metagame compared to Living End. That's how you know that Living End decks have truly died. So the question is, why did Living End decks flop? The short answer to that question is that even though Living End is crazy good game 1, by game 2, if Living End sees any graveyard hate, then it just queefs on itself. If we look at graveyard decks that are currently doing really well, the big difference between these decks and Living End decks is that these decks can still function somewhat in the face of graveyard hate, whereas Living End cannot. Dredge and Vengevine can still at the very least hardcast their cards, whereas if Living End decks try and hardcast their stuff, they're gonna need to wait until turn 5, and that ain't gonna happen. And you might be thinking, why don't Living End decks bring in Nature's Claim or Thoughtseize like these other decks do? And the answer is that they can't, because the Cascade cards will hit anything that costs less than 3. So the conclusion is, Living End is great game 1 and horrible in games 2 and 3. So how will Daddy fix this problem? And the answer is a Living End deck that takes out Living End for games 2 and 3. Boom! That's right, 1000 IQ play. Game 2, they're expecting graveyard stuff, but guess what? No graveyard stuff at all for games 2 and 3. But what do we bring in instead of Living End? And that would be the new card, Crashing Footfalls. So when we fire off Cascade, we will hit Crashing Footfalls, which makes 2 4/4 tramplers. And considering that we have Simians in the deck, we can make these big boys as early as turn 1. And that is most gangster. But the real beauty here is that in game 2, do you think our opponent's gonna have a great hand? Nah, because what are they gonna do? They're gonna mulligan until they hit a graveyard hate card, and once they finally find that card, they're gonna be like, great, that's all I have to worry about. But all of a sudden, our opponent finds themselves in a position where they have very few cards in hand, and they have 2 4/4s to deal with, or at least 2, because we can fire off multiples of these. But to make things even better, if our opponent had creature removal in game 1, they're probably gonna take it out by game 2, because what's a Dismember gonna do against an army of creatures? Because again, they're expecting Living End to bring back a ton of creatures, and at that point, it is too late. So now if we look back to the main deck, we can start to see cards that work well game 1, as well as in games 2 and 3. First of all, we have Bloodbraid. For 4 mana, it has Cascade, which hopefully can hit one of these cards for more Cascade, but if not, it could also hit Blood Moon, which is yet another threat that our opponent has to deal with, and probably doesn't expect. Worst case scenario with Bloodbraid Elf is that we hit a Simian or a Faerie, but Bloodbraid is still arguably better in our deck compared to any other modern deck, because unlike most Bloodbraid decks, there is 0% chance of hitting a card that costs 1 or 2. Other than that, we have the typical cyclers we find in a Living End deck, which we try and sideboard out after game 1, but the ones that remain can still draw us cards, and the Fairies are there for graveyard hate, mostly in case our opponent has creatures in their graveyard game 1. And then to speed up our mana, we have Simian as well as Gemstone. As for lands, we have a lot of fetches to hit our basics to prep for Blood Moon, as well as a Nurturing Peatland for card draw. But now on a sideboard, in addition to bringing in Crashing Footfalls, we have a couple of options here. We have the new card, Force of Despair, which we can cast for free by exiling a black card from hand, which should be no problem because we have so many cyclers in our hand. And when we fire it, we destroy all creatures that enter the battlefield that turn, in case our opponent has a lot of creatures. In addition, we also have 2 Anger of the Gods. Deals 3 damage to all creatures, exiles them, and conveniently, it won't kill our 4/4s. Then for even more graveyard hate, we have Ravenous Trap, and against artifact hate, we have Chewer. And lastly, against blue, we have Ricochet Trap. Basically, it counters that card for 1. That's the deck. Time for the gameplay. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more decks like this. And without further ado, here's the gameplay, and I hope you enjoy. Opening hand, we got a couple digging cards in this, so we're gonna keep it. Oh, it's a graveyard deck. Bridge from below and Bloodghast. It's a Ho deck. A Ho Vengevine deck. This shall be tricky. Cycle that. And somehow try to survive. Neonate. Sacks a Neonate. Gets back Bloodghast. And a Gravecrawler. Cycle that, get that. Meh. We might be in trouble here. And an altar, so I say we fire the Outburst, even though it kind of backfires on us. Yeah. But once this thing came out, so many things would go in the graveyard and wouldn't be able to fire it after. Well, it gets back Bloodghast. Sacks the Bloodghast. And the big Ho. I don't think we'll win this one. Yeah. Because they're just gonna mill us out this turn. So we're going game 2. Going into game 2. Luckily, we have some graveyard hate to bring in, and also board wipe that exiles, and also Chewer, because when we evoke it, it technically dies and gets rid of Bridge. And with that, let's go to game 2. Turn 1 Blood Moon. Yeah, let's do it. Uh-oh, they got Leyline. Luckily, we dumped the Living Ends. So they can play Neonate or Faithless Looting. Faithless Looting, they have Bloodghast that could be an issue, but nothing. And ooh, very nice. Alter Dementia, sure. Not that they have anything. They probably just thought with the Leyline that they had automatic victory. Oh, they have a second one. Meh. Cycle this. It's pretty good. Okie we'll fire this on our opponent's turn. Opponent flashes back, Faithless Looting. A Bridge and a Hoe. That is fine, because we'll do this. And then swing for 8. Whack our opponent. And realizing they're no match for us, they concede. So game 3 it is. Opening hand, we got a Ravenous Trap, so yeah, we'll keep it. I mean, the rest of the hand could be a little bit better, but YOLO, as the kids say. Opponent sacks putting Bloodghast in graveyard. There's only 2 cards. Let's cycle. Okay, fine. Peter. And Bloodghast comes back. Interessante. We also have a Blood Moon. Well, I suppose we pass back. They sack, getting back Bloodghast and another land. They swing for 4. Play the Gravecrawler. Okay. So perhaps the best move here. Play Demonic Dread, getting back Footfalls. And let's see what they can do. Back that and that. Man, they're just playing around this so well. They get 2 cards in graveyard and then they're like, nah. Oh, big boy, what you be doing? I sense a Lightning Axe. So if you double block here, they can sack Lightning Axe, but we have so many more to reload with. I don't think we really mind if they Lightning Axe us. I think it's worth the double block here. Sacks and that's fine. We can hit their graveyard now, but I say we wait. So much for us to do here. Probably the safest option though, Demonic Dread. Getting more Thick Boys, swinging for 4, and then back to our opponent. Get Gravecolor back from graveyard, but nothing they get back can block. The big hoe. Okay. Man, I regret not using this when we had the chance, but all hope is not lost. Let's do this. Swing in. On blocks like that, we'll fetch for this. Violent Outburst. Getting 2 more Thick Boys, dealing 10. And we could play Blood Moon here with the Simian, but I don't know if it's worth it. We have no green for Vengevine. But the Gravecrawler though. Yeah, let's play it, because otherwise they just keep sacking this to that. Okay. And there's a concede. Boom! We can't be beaten. We just can't be beaten. Even with me missing the Ravenous Trap. Even with the big hoe out. Our Thick Boys are just too thick. That was kinky. But more kinkiness awaits. On to the next one. Opening hand looks very nice. We got some discarding. We also have this, so we're gonna keep. Inquisition. So they have to take that. And end of turn, cycle land. And that hoe. Okay. Back to our opponent. And opponent plays Dark Confidant, so we can assume they're Jun. And then double cycle. Pull the Fairy. But I'm not liking this all that much. But for now, we just pass back. Opponent Inquisitions again. But might as well take that out and force them to take the Living End. And opponent knocks us down to 14. End of turn, cycle, and cycle. Well, we shall go with Bloodbraid into Living End. That's what I wanted to see. And before it goes through, they fatal push that. Who cares? Nobody cares. Because look at this. Swing for 3. They take 3. Now back to them. Colgan's command, but that's not going to cut it. I don't think anything's going to cut it. And there's a concede. How nice. Now on to sideboarding. Going into game 2 and do the old switcheroo. Putting in Footfalls, Despair, and Anger of the Gods, dumping this. And with that, let's go to game 2. Opening hand's not great, but we can set up for a turn 2 Blood Moon. So we'll keep it. Leyline of the Void. They got us, guys. Two of them. And the discarding. And after a very long pause, they take the Blood Moon. So then back on our turn, we'll suspend the Thick Boys and pass back. And another Inquisition. Taking Anger of the Gods, sure. And then back on our turn, we have this, but we need a creature to target. So for now, we'll just play this and pass back. Thoughtseize, okay. Taking the Bloodbraid. And I suppose we'll play Simian, so that we can play this next turn as a worst case scenario. Never mind. They have 1 card in hand. So Leyline just drain them, because they haven't done much this game except discard us. And there's a Confidant. But oh boy, they better have a Maelstrom, because we getting them Thick Boys. And next turn we'll get 2 more Thick Boys. But if they have Maelstrom Pulse, they can board wipe us. They get Fulminator. They play Fulm. And end of their turn, we'll cycle. Okay. More Thick Boys come down. We also got a Bloodbraid. So we'll play it. Cascade. Ooh, that nice. Getting 2 more Thick Boys. But if they have Maelstrom, we hella screwed. When it blocks like that, a little concerning. Or maybe not, because their life total is pretty low. Never mind. There's a concede. Holy crap, that was so nice. They fell for our trap. It's like they get the light lines out and it's like, they think they're so clever, but then, But the fun times don't end there, because now on to the next one. Opening hand, 3 lands, 2 cyclers, and that. And even if they discard us, we have this as a backup, so we shall keep. Blue-white control. This could be tricky. That's a perfect pull, because by next turn, we make fun time in Ponce. And our opponent passes back. They dead. And we have this for a swamp. Dios mío. It's too much. The Blood Moon. On top of that, they're stuck on 1 land. Oh my god. Oh crap, no they're not. They have an island now. Okay, that's fine. We can still make this work. I think we gotta fire this now though, because I really don't want to see any counter stuff. And they could have Force of Negation, but we'll try it. Violent Outburst to get back 1 dude. They'll need to hit a Plains to deal with that, but then they pass back. And a Bloodbraid, nice. Although if we hit a Living End, we'll have to pass on it. Play it. Shoot. Nah. But then we can swing for 7. Snapcaster, okay. So I assume they'll trade. No, they chump. That makes a lot more sense. Fair enough. Back to them. Opponent Visions. Digging for those Plains, no doubt. They play that pass back. Ooh, nice. So we shall cycle, and we'll set up for Dread next turn. Swing for 3. Pass back. They play land, pass back to us, and a turn this. Cycle this real quick. Violent Outburst, okay. And And we shall see how this goes. Swinging for 3. No blocks from our opponent. And we could Violent Outburst at the end of their turn. That's probably the safest option. Yeah. Ooh, second island. And they pass back. We'll try and pull off the Outburst and force a negation. That's fine. Back on our turn, another Bloodbraid. We'll go with that. Violent Outburst. All right, we'll try it. Shoot. I tried to stop the priority from being passed. I didn't have time to fire that. Shoot. Okay, well, that's a bummer. At least we can take this away from them. Yeah, it's so weird because it should have given us priority before that fired off. Maybe I just didn't hit the button in time. I don't know. Anyway, swing for 3. And then back to them. And our opponent concedes, but I'm still not happy about that. They shouldn't have gotten their Snapcaster back. No, I don't care if we won. The fact that Snapcaster came back, that's a loss to me. But redemption shall be achieved in game 2. Going into game 2, we're gonna dump this for this, and with that, let's go to game 2. The opening hand, this actually seems pretty keepable, so we shall keep. Opponent starts with Visions, and we shall kick things off with Footfalls, and then wait 4 turns, back to our opponent, another Visions, and another Visions. Back on our turn, we'll suspend another one, and pass back. Opponent plays Geist, cool. Although it has Hexproof, so we can't target that, which is kind of a bummer. But we have that, and now that they're tapped out, we'll fire it. Wonder if they have Force of Negation, though. Why did they tap out on turn 3? And they do have Force of Negation. All right, back to our opponent. Opponent swings for 6. We go down to 12. Let's cycle. And I guess cycle here. And as much as I want to hold this in hand, I think we need to put the Fairy out for a blocker. And we can also do that next turn if it somehow survives, which I doubt it will. And then back to our opponent. Yep, they bolt. Oh, and with that, they'll deal lethal. This will be bolt, 6 in there. Yeah, they got us. So we're going to game 3. Going into game 3 because we know they have Geist. We'll bring in 3 of those and dump 3 of these. And with that, let's go to game 3. Opening hand is almost worth keeping, but we don't have any lands. So we got a mole. I got the Blood Moon. Okay. Land on top? Yes. The next turn we'll try and Blood Moon, even though Force of Negation. Opponent Visions. And then they pass back to us. Let's try it. Boom, boom, and boom. It made it. Back to our opponent. But now we kind of got nothing, but hopefully they have nothing as well. Ooh, just red. Oh, so nice, so nice. Come on, Bloodbraid next turn. Oh, another mountain. I don't want to see that. All right, back to our opponent. Oh, crap. No island. Okay, let's do it. Simian, Bloodbraid, but that island though. Oh, that's a nice hit. And they let it go through. Huh. Interesting. What do these? Oh, Snapcaster. Sure. We shall trade if they want to trade. And then back to them. Another mountain. And Violent Outburst. Wait till the end of their turn, I suppose. And even if they counter, we might hit a land next turn for Bloodbraid. And there's the concede. There's the concede. Holy crap. After game 2, I was like, I don't think we're gonna get game 3. I mean, game 2, they seemed to not bring in any graveyard hate and instead dropped a Geist, and that was tough. We did not see that coming. And then game 3. Oh, the Blood Moon. The Blood Moon, yes. Needless to say, that made me very happy in pants. But now on to the next one. Opening hand, this could work, so we'll keep. Breeding Pool, just like my mom's vajayjay. And ooh, that is muy grande. Because we can Blood Moon. And back to our opponent. And they concede. What a loser. Now the big question is, do they realize we're on living end? Because we discarded this. And they should know that we're on living end. So we'll switch things up, put in all this for all this, and with that, let's go to game 2. Opening hand is most derp, so we're gonna mull. Yeah, okay. And oh goody, we got a gemstone. Dumping not noble. So maybe they're Bant Spirits. I mean, I don't know. Cycle that, draw that, and that. Well, suspend this thing and pass back. Oh, it's Infect. Wait, is this our green-white Infect? That would make me happy in pawns. Although we did see a Breeding Pool. So we shall play Bloodbraid and hope for something good. Demonic Dredge, sure. Although next turn they have 1, 2, 3 Infect, now kill us. So we'll have to go to game 3, but should we revert back to Graveyard? That's a tough call. Yeah, I don't see us being fast enough with this new strategy here, and they've seen it already. So I think we're better off going back to living end. At the very least, we can use it to sacrifice their creatures. And with that, let's go to game 3. Oh, this is very strong. They keep that fetch open. I still think we should go for the Blood Moon, though. But they have a Forest, Listener Elf, and a Dryad Arbor. Oh, guess what? Boom! Say hi to Jesus. But now we have to wait things out. And it looks like they're more Bant than green and white. In which case, we must punish them. Cycle that into that, and there's that. But there's a good chance they have Graveyard Hate. We gotta be very careful how we do this here. We'll just keep passing back. The opponent keeps passing back. Gosh, should we fire it now? We could deal 18 damage with those. They didn't have blockers. We can also try and board wipe them, but they probably have Pump. I think we should wait until we're sure they have lethal. Yeah. But the longer we wait, the more likely they are to draw an answer to either this or the graveyard stuff. And they still pass back. We're not drawing anything. It passes back to us and discards Spell Pierce. I should just go for it. I mean, nothing's happening. You do have enough for that and that in the same turn now. Yeah, I guess we go for it. This is very risky. Outburst, it fires. Cycle that. And then we'll try Anger. Although they probably have Pump. No, they just let it die. What? They realize they're no match for us. They realize that they're not green-white. In fact, they're Bant. Just look at this. Slam them for a lot. And boom! That was too easy. Too easy. If you guys are down for a follow-up video, then so am I. Because who knows just how far this deck can go. But that is all for now. Thanks again to you guys who were able to get deck boxes before they sold out. And because of that, I'm able to take off time from work sucking dick for a living to make more videos. More deck boxes will be coming at some point, but for now, that is all. And as always, I hope you have a great day.